Hey scholars, this is Mrs. Bowers. Happy Monday to you. So this week we are getting closer to our Chapter 7 multiplying fractions test. Again, it's happening on Thursday. I'm going to help you with your homework for tonight. Today's math lesson was the last new material I was throwing at you. And then Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, we'll be reviewing the chapter for our chapter test on Thursday, okay? So today we practice multiplying mixed numbers. Now we started doing this last Thursday, but I decided to change the order of things a little bit just to give you a different way of reaching the same conclusion. Also, I personally think it's a little easier. So let's try this out together, okay? So if you're looking at your homework, I'm going to start with doing number 2. Which is 1 1/7 times 1 3/4. So you won't be able to really see my face, but you'll be able to hear my voice, okay? So our first problem, like I just said, is 1 1/7, and we're going to multiply that with 1 3/4. All right, so I'm first going to change these two mixed numbers into improper fractions. This step you're all really good at. You're really proficient with this skill. So you know that in order to turn this into an improper fraction, we'll multiply the denominator by the whole number. Then we'll add the numerator to get our improper fraction. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. We now have 8/7. We'll do the same process with 1 3/4. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 more is 7. We keep the denominators the same. Now here's the step where I'm changing the order of my directions. Last Thursday and Friday, I said, now scholars, multiply across your fractions. So last week I said, do 8 times 7, then 7 times 4, and then simplify. Last week I said multiply, then simplify. This week I'm telling you simplify, then multiply. I'm just switching the order of those two things, but watch how I do it. I told you today, let's look at our numerators and then look at our denominators. We're going to reduce these fractions. We're going to simplify. So I suggested just pick one of these denominators. So let's say I'll pick 7 first. It doesn't really matter. Can I evenly put 7 into 8? No. Can I evenly put 7 into 7? Ooh, yes, I can. There's a fact family there. So we can simplify this. We know that the fact family is 7 times 1 equals 7. That's the fact family. So if I'm going to simplify this, I'm going to say, okay, 7 divided by 7 is going to leave me with the number 1. Whatever I divide with the denominator, I have to divide with the numerator. So if I did 7 divided by 7, I'm going to do 7 divided by 7, which is also going to be 1. But just for, kicks and giggles, I want to now see if I can simplify the 4 and the 8. So I'm going to say, can 4 evenly go into 8? You bet they can. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 4 leaves me with 1. Whatever you divide with the denominator, you divide with the numerator. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'm going to tell you to multiply across what we have left. So we have 2 and 1 in the numerator. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And that special thing I told you earlier today, that whenever there is a 1 in the denominator, that's the same thing as a whole number. So here's your final answer. Bada bing, bada boom. That's question number 2 on your homework. I want to jump ahead. I want to do Let's do number 8 together. Let's do number 8 together. Number 8 is 2 2/5 multiplied by 1 1/4. This is number 8, guys. Okay, number 8 on your homework. All right, here we go. I see 2 mixed numbers. I want to turn them into improper fractions. How I do that is I multiply my denominator by my whole number and then add my numerator. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. Keep our denominators the same. If right now, you and your parents are thinking, but Mrs. Bowers, that's really cool and all, but why do we do it that way? Well, let me tell you. This is going to make sense, okay? 2 wholes. Let's say Mrs. Bowers had 2 whole pizzas and then 2/5 of a pizza. So if I had 2 2/5 of a pizza, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say these were all 5 cut pizzas. I love pizzas. I had 1 whole pizza, 2 whole pizzas, and then 2/5 of a pizza. So I had 5, 10, 11, 12 pieces of pizza. But anywho, that's 4th grade review, so I'm just going to breeze past that, okay? Next step, I'm going to check out my next mixed number and turn it into an improper fraction. I do that by multiplying my denominator times my whole number, then add my numerator. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Keep your denominator the same. Now, last week I told you to go ahead and multiply across. Multiply 12 times 5 and 5 times 4, then simplify. Well, this week I'm whistling a different tune. I'm going to say, why don't you try to simplify first and then multiply across? When you simplify first, what you're looking for is, can you find anything that's special with these numerators and denominators? Do they have anything in common with each other? Do they have any numbers that are divisible by the others? So I see 12 and 5 in the numerator and 5 and 4 in the denominator. Pick either denominator, up to you. Let's say you pick the number 5. Can 5 go into 12 evenly? No. Can 5 go into 5 evenly? Yes, it does. So think 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 5 divided by 5 is 1. Now, I want to see if you can push yourselves. Please check out the other denominator and other numerator. I have a 4 and a 12. Can 4 go into 12 evenly? You bet your bottom dollar. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now I'm going to have you multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. Remember that special thing about whole numbers. A whole number is always going to be over the number 1. Here's our answer. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to do number 9 with you, and then I'm signing off for the night, kiddos, okay? The directions for 9, 10, and 11 ask us to find the product. So let's do, what number did I say I wanted to do? Let's do number 9. 4 2/5 multiplied by 10. I see a mixed number. I'm going to turn it into an improper fraction. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 more is 22. Over 5, bring down that whole number 10. What's that special thing I just told you about with whole numbers? Looking at a whole number is like looking at it as a fraction over the number 1 in the denominator. Now I'm going to look at these and say, okay, can I simplify before I multiply? Let's check it out. Let's look at my number 5. Can 5 go into 22 evenly? No. Can 5 go into 10 evenly? You bet your bottom dollar it can. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now I'm going to multiply across. 22 times 2 is 44. 1 times 1 is 1. So this is a whole number, 44, kiddos. Okay? If there's some steps or some parts of this process that you seem to get caught up on constantly, let's bring that up in the next 2 days. You have 2 days for review of this chapter before I throw a test at you on Thursday. So now is the time to clear up any questions you might have about the chapter. But for now, let's focus on getting this homework done, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.